Hi everyone, Slangel here from Slangel Designs, and today I'm going to show you how to make this gorgeous Snowdrop baby blanket with a moss stitch and pico border. This is going to be made using Lion Brand Pound of Love, which is going to take roughly close to a whole ball of it, a 6.0 millimeter hook. And the pattern will be available as a free PDF download in the description on the website. And without further ado, let's get into making this Snowdrop baby blanket. Okay, so to get started with row 1, and with your 6.0 millimeter hook and your yarn of choice, I'm using, just like I said, the Aran white yarn. We're going to attach our yarn to our hook, and you can attach it whichever way is your preferred method. Oops. I'm going to make a slip knot and attach my yarn just like that. Okay. So now, as mentioned, this pattern is in multiples of 3. So for my blanket, I'm going to be starting with a starting chain of 123. So to chain, once again, yarn over, pull through, that's 1, yarn over, pull through, 2, yarn over, pull through, that's 3, yarn over, pull through, that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So put me on pause and get your starting chain done for whichever size blanket you're making, and I'll meet you back here in a minute. Be right back. Okay, welcome back. So I've got my chain of 123. So hopefully you have yours done to the 123 or the length of whatever the project is you're making. So what we're going to do now for row 2 is we're going to, in the second chain from the hook, so as you can see here, the one on our chain, or on our hook, doesn't count. So 1, 2, the second chain from the hook, we're going to put a single crochet in there. So we're going to yarn over, we're going to 1, 2, second chain, put our hook in, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through both loops on your hook. That's a single crochet. We're going to go back into the next one. We're going to put our hook through, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 2. That's another single crochet. And what we're going to do is put a single crochet into each stitch across. And that's going to give us 122 single crochets at the end of the row. So if you'd like to put me on pause and work across your starting chain there and get your 100 and however many stitches you needed to do, get your single crochets in every stitch in your starting chain, and we'll meet back here in a minute. Be right back. Okay, so we finished row 1. We got our single crochets all the way across our starting chain. So we should end up with 122 single crochets. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to turn our work. I'm trying to get the right tail here. All right, twist it. All right, so that's the end of row 1. We're going to chain 2. 1, 2, turn the work. Get this chain out of the way here. Make sure we're not working with the tail here. Then for row 2, we're going to enter the third chain from the beginning. So 1, 2, 3. So in here. So 1, 2, 3. Into the third single crochet from the beginning, we're going to make 2 double crochets. So to do 2 double crochets, you're going to yarn over, put your hook in, yarn over, pull up a loop. You've got 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through 2 of those loops, and yarn over, pull through the other 2. That's a double crochet. So yarn over, and in the exact same space we just made that first one, we're going to go back in, yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. Then what we're going to do is we're going to chain 1, and we're going back into that exact same spot with a single crochet. So hook in, yarn over and pull up a loop so that you have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through both those loops. That is the first teardrop, snowdrop. So then we're going to skip 2 stitches, and we're going to go right back in. So skip the 2, so skip this one, and the third one you're going to put 2 double crochets, there's 1, 2, chain 1, and then a single crochet, and those are all in that 1 stitch. Okay, so there's our next pattern repeat. So this is what we're going to do across. We're going to skip 2, double crochet into the third one, chain 1, and then single crochet right back in that same spot. So now we got 3. So again, I'll show you a couple more times here. Let me get some more yarn. Yarn over, skip 2, so 1, 2, in the third one, go in, yarn over, pull up your loop, 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. That's a double crochet. Back in with the exact same spot with another double, chain 1, and then a single crochet, all in that 1 stitch. So there, now we've got 4 other repeats done. So again, yarn over, skip 2, hook goes into the third one, yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. We'll repeat that again, yarn over, hook goes in the exact same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, chain 1, and then a single crochet. So this is what we're going to repeat across. So if you want to put me on pause and meet me towards the end of the row, and I'll show you how we're going to finish off the row. Be right back. Okay, welcome back. So we're reaching towards the end of the row. So I have to skip 2 more stitches, yarn over, put my hook in the 3rd stitch there, yarn over, pull up, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. We're going to do that double crochet again in the same stitch, just like we've been doing along the whole row. Chain 1, single crochet in the same spot, and you're going to notice you have 2 single crochets left at the end of your row, and if you do, bang on, you are supposed to. Now, how you're going to finish row 2 is you're going to put a single crochet in that last single crochet from the row below. So you're going to skip this one here, and in this one, you're going to go through. Make sure you're getting the 2 loops of the stitch, okay? You can kind of see that they make like a V. Yarn over, pull up, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through, and that finishes row 2. We're going to turn our work. And row 3 is the repeat row. This is what you're going to do for the length of your project. Oh, I'm so sorry. So sorry. All right. So let's see. So maybe I can edit that part out. So row 3 is going to be the repeat row. So what you're going to do is chain 2, 1, 2. Then you're going to see you've got the chain 1 space in that cluster. You're going to go in and put 2 double crochets in there in that chain 1 space. going to chain 1, and this is where we're going to do our front post single crochet. So in the first double crochet of the cluster below, we're going to put our hook in and go behind that post. See what I'm doing there? I'm going in. I'm not using the stitch. I'm going in and coming out through the back. I'm going to yarn over, pull up 2 loops on my hook, yarn over and pull through just like a regular single crochet. So then we're going to go right into the next chain 1 space from the next cluster with 2 double crochets, chain 1, then around that first double crochet of the cluster that we're coming to, we're going to put our hook in and do our front post single crochet. So you can see again there, I'm putting the hook in around the back of the post and coming out so that it's at the front. Yarn over, pull up our loop, and yarn over and pull through both. That's our front post single crochet. Double crochet into the next chain 1 space, and again chain 1, then we're going to single crochet around that next double crochet below. Hook goes in from front to back, comes out from the back to the front, yarn over, pull up our loop, and yarn over and pull through both. And we're doing our front post single crochets on that. This is what's going to give you the texture. All right, let's do a couple more. Yarn over, find your next chain 1 space, do a double crochet, a second double crochet, chain 1, then again we're going to go do that front post single crochet around that next double crochet in the cluster, and that part's done. Yarn over, hook goes in the chain 1 space from the one below, yarn over, pull up, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and we'll do that again for our second double crochet, chain 1, and then again back in with our front post. So this is what you're going to do all the way across, okay? So if you want to put me on pause and meet me at the end, I'll show you how we're going to finish off row 3. Be right back. Okay, welcome back. So you've worked across all your row and you've gotten all your little clusters done. And so you're coming to the end, you've got 1 left, okay? So what you're going to do is find that chain 1 space and put your 2 double crochets like you've been doing, chain 1, and your front post single on that first double crochet. Now you see this chain, our turning chain from the previous row. What you're going to do is in the second chain, so you're skipping 1, you're going to go into that second chain and just put a single crochet to finish off your row. Okay, so then what you're going to do, because row 3, what you just did, is the repeat row, you're going to turn your work, you're going to chain 2, and you're going to find that chain 1 space, put your 2 double crochets, chain 1, and then do your front post single crochet just like you did in the other row. Then you're going to go on to your next little cluster. I have to sometimes kind of put my finger to feel where the chain space is, because when you're looking at it, sometimes it's not that obvious. So don't panic if you need to do that as well. Whatever helps you get through the pattern. So once you find it, put your 2 double crochets, chain 1, and then your front post single around that first double crochet. Okay, so you're gonna, again, row 3 is this is a 1 row repeat. So row 3, you're going to just keep on going and doing the exact same thing you did in the previous row. Put your 2 double crochets in each of the chain 1 spaces, chain 1, front post, single crochet. You're going to do that all the way across. So you're always going to start with a chain 2 and then do your 2 double crochets, chain 1, front post, single, and then when you get to the end of every row, you're going to, when you're at the end, you're going to put your 2 double crochets, chain 1, front post, single, and then you're going to go into that snap. You can see here, here's the first chain, second chain. The second chain of that turning, you're going to put your single crochet in there, and that's how you're going to end every row. All right, so put me on pause and come back when you have the length of your project. So depending on what size blanket you're making will determine how long you need to make it. I'm going to be making, this is a baby size blanket I'm making, so when I finish that, we'll come back and I'll show you how to finish it off, and then we'll put a border on it. So I'll see you in a few minutes. Right back. Okay, so we have worked across the repeat row as many times as you want to get to the length of your project. So I'm making a baby size blanket, so it measures roughly 36 by 36. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start row 1 of the border, and this is a fairly simple, straightforward border, and the finishing row is a little bit fancier with a pico. So what we're going to do, you can change colors for your border if you'd like, but what you're going to do is start in the same corner. You're not going to turn your blanket, you're not going to turn your work or anything like that. You're going to start in the same corner where you were finishing off, where you're starting. Like if we were going to keep going with the next, say we're adding another row, you're right where you would need to be, right in the corner, okay? So, and again, I'm going to have the PDF pattern free to download on the website. So we're going to chain 1, and we're going to single crochet back in that same stitch, okay? And now we're going to start the repeat here, which is chain 1, skip the next stitch, and then chain 1, or sorry, single crochet into the next. Chain 1, skip the next stitch, and then single crochet into the next. And this is what we're repeating across. So chain 1, skip your next stitch, and then the next one's going to be in that chain 1 space. Chain 1, skip the next stitch, single crochet. Chain 1, skip the next one, single crochet. So you're going to repeat this till you get over to the corner. So if you want to put me on pause, and then I'll meet you back at the corner. I'll show you how to do the corner, okay? So I'll be right back. Okay, so we've reached the end of the row. So what I'm going to do is keep going with my chain 1, skip the next stitch, in this corner one, do my single crochet. Now for the corner, we're going to chain 2, and then I'm going to go back in to that same one with another single crochet, and that's going to create our nice tight corner. So now when you rotate your work, you're going to be going down, my yarn is all tangled here, let me just grab some more. You're going to be going down the side. So it's not going to be quite so obvious where your stitches are going to be. So chain 1, you're still going to do the repeat, and then I like to go in the chain space there, single crochet, skip 1. You can kind of eyeball it. You're going to spread them out evenly across. So skip 1 in here, skip one in the next, chain one, skip in the next. So you can see we got our nice sharp corner with our chain 2 space, and then we've got our chain 1s and our single crochets, and we're going to repeat the chain 1 single crochet down this row as well, the side of the blanket. Let's see, skip. It's a little trickier. You have to take your time a little bit more because some of the spots aren't quite so obvious, and you want to make sure you're spreading them out. So I would count that as a stitch, and then in here, skip in there. You want to be able to place them so that you still have your single crochets and your chain 1s evenly spaced apart. All right, it'll make it easier for the next round. So continue that pattern, repeat until you get to the next corner, and then I'll meet you back here at the corner and we'll do the next one. Right back. Okay, I'm coming up to the next corner, so I'm going to do my chain 1, skip a stitch into that corner, do my single crochet, chain 2, and go right back into that same space with another single crochet, and then I'm going to rotate my work. So now this is working along our starting chain. So we're going to chain 1. Then it's a little easier to see because you've got a little bit easier visual. Chain 1, skip, next one, chain 1, skip, next one. So we're going to repeat this around, skip, next one. So if you want to keep working and doing your corners, so skip, next one. See, it's a lot easier than the sides to see where, because you're skipping where the single crochet would be, and then going into that next space. So if you want to work around and then do the next corner and then work up the side just like we did the previous side, and meet me back here and I'll show you how to do round 2, which is the repeat round, which you're going to do round 2 until you get the desired thickness of the border before we do the final round, which has the nice picot stitches and the decorative edging. All right, so if you want to put me on pause, rewind the video if you need to for the corners and the such, and work across the bottom and then the other side, and I'll meet you back there and we'll go on to round 2. So be right back. Okay, so I worked all the way around, and when I got to the end, I did my last, I chained 2 and slip stitch to the top of the initial starting point, okay? But now here, you're not going to turn your work to do the next row because we're going to keep going around in the direction and facing the way we were, okay? What we are going to do is do a backwards slip stitch. So we're right here, we want to slip stitch back into the chain 2 space of the corner just to get us there, okay? So once you're back into the corner, you're going to chain 1 and single crochet back into that corner, chain 2 space again. Now we're ready to go. So what we're going to do is chain 1, skip that single crochet that we've got there, and we're going to go into the chain 1 space and put our single crochet. Chain 1 into, and then we're going to skip the single crochet and single crochet into the next chain 1 space. And this is what we're going to repeat across till we get to the corner. And again, if you're changing colors, you would change and reattach your yarn in the chain 2 space of the corner and pick up from there. So chain 1, skip the single crochet and single crochet in the chain 1 space. Sometimes I have to use my fingers just to feel where they are for the first little bit because I tend to make my single crochets a little tighter and it's harder to see because you're going into that space, you're not going into the actual like stitch itself. So like normally you would be like, oh, there's the 2 V's, you'd go in, we're going in the chain 1 space. So sometimes you have to kind of feel, so take your time, work your way across. And if you want to do this repeat here, work your way across to the corner. I'll show you how to do the corner, and I'll be right back. Okay, so you've worked your single crochet, chain 1s, single crochet, repeat in the chain spaces across. Now we're over to the first corner. So I'm going to chain 1. In that chain 2 space there, I'm going to put a single crochet, chain 2, and a single crochet. That's the corner done. I'm going to rotate my work here, and then I'm going to chain 1, skip my single crochet, and in the chain 1 space, put my next single crochet, chain 1, skip into the next chain 1 space, and keep working across to the next corner. And in the next corner, you're going to put a single crochet, chain 2, single crochet in that chain 2 space, and you're going to keep doing this until you get around to the beginning, and you're going to slip stitch to the start. And what you're going to do is repeat this row until you have the desired width of the border. And if you need to, just rewind the video to see each section for the repeat in the corners if you need to. But you're going to work around, slip stitch, then you're going to do a backward slip stitch into that corner, the initial corner, and repeat around. So I'm going to do a couple more rows, and I'll meet you back here, and I'll show you how to do the final round with the picot stitch. Be back in a minute, or about 20 or so. Be right back. Okay, so I finished doing the repeat of row 2. I have 4 altogether, so this is how wide mine ended up being. If you want yours wider, just do another round or 2. So for the last round and the decorative round, what we're going to do is, it's a little different than row 2. We're going to slip stitch, but we're not going back, we're going to the next one. We're slip stitching to the next chain 1 space to the left, okay? So then what we're going to do is chain 2, and that's going to count as your first half double crochet. Then we're going to put a half double crochet right back in that same space. So then we're going to chain 3, and then what you're going to do is go down through, when you're looking at your work, the half double crochet you just made, you're going to go down through the top loop and the next strand, so that you have 3 loops on your hook. Okay, and then you're going to yarn over and pull through all 3, and that makes the picot at the top. All right, so then we're going to skip the next stitch, and then we're going to work 2 half double crochets in the next chain 1 space. 1, 2, chain 3, and then let me just get my needle here to maybe show you. You're going to put your hook down through, let me just take my hook out here for a second so I can bring this closer without knocking everything all over. You're going to put your hook down through the top of the half double crochet you just made and through the next strand of yarn below it. Okay, so you're going to come down through that top strand and into the next one, so that you have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 3, and that's the picot. So then this is the repeat. You're going to half double crochet into the next chain 1 space, followed by a second half double crochet in that chain 1 space, chain 3, back down between those 2 strands of yarn, yarn over, and pull through all 3. That's another picot made. So this is what you're going to repeat across until you get to the corner, okay? So one more time. Half double crochet into the next chain 1 space, followed by a second chain 3, and then hook goes in through the top of that last half double crochet, and then the strand just below it. Yarn over, pull through all 3. All right, so work your way across and I'll meet you back at the corner and I'll show you how to do the corners. Be right back. Okay, so I worked across that whole side and I'm up to the corner. So what you're going to do in each corner is, you'll see that the chain 2 space of your corner there, you're going to put 2 half double crochets, then do your picot, 1, 2, 3, and you're going to go right back in to that chain 2 space with another set of the 2 half double crochets and the picot. And then you're on to the next side, where you're going to do the repeat of the 2 half double crochets run out of yarn here, chain 3, and do your picot. So you can see your corner is done. All right. So by doing it the way we did it, you end up with a point right in the corner. All right. So continue working your the repeat pattern across this side. When you get to the next corner, do the exact same thing. And then when you come down the other side, repeat your pattern. And I'm going to meet you up and do your next corner, and I'll meet you up at the end and I'll show you how to finish off the project, okay? So keep working your border and I'll be right back. All right, so as you make your way around, and I have mine just at the end here, you're going to, in the last corner chain 2 space, you're going to put your half double crochet, half double crochet, chain 3, then put your, to make your picot, pull through, and then we're going to do that again because that's what we've been doing in the corners, putting 2 sets in, 1, 2, and 3, down through those 2 for the picot. Then what you're going to do is just slip stitch to the base of that single crochet. Make sure you leave a nice long tail. And I like to, even though I've just slip stitched, I like to do another chain, pull it tight, pinch and pull down, and then we're going to weave that in. Get my other yarn untangled here. All right, so let me take my needle here and we'll weave this in. I had already woven in the initial starting one. So I'm just going to get this in through quite a few, and try to split some of the strands a little bit because it holds the yarn a little tighter. You have less chance of, and then I'm going to just kind of loop back around. Because I don't want this coming undone, especially if it's because it's wash and dry. I don't want it coming apart in the washer machine or anything like that. All right, and then we'll trim that down. So this is the Snowdrop baby blanket with a moss stitch and pico border. So it's hard to get it all in the view of the camera. It's super soft. It's reversible. Works up super quick. And again, I had used the Lion Brand Pound of Love. I used probably close to the full pound, a little bit less. All right. And again, it works out to be almost like 36 inches square. And you could easily customize to make a bigger blanket. It would make a really nice throw for on a bed or a child size, like a twin size. And this border is a very versatile border. You could pretty much put that on whatever kind of blanket if you needed to. All right, so please don't forget to like and subscribe. The free PDF pattern will be available on the website, and I'll put the link to that in the description as well. I thank you for all your support of the channel. I look forward to seeing the next video. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. If you make it, let me know how you get along, what kind of colors you used, what yarn you used, if you made it for a baby, all the details. I like to know when people actually make the stuff and it turned out good. Or well, sorry, not very good grammar. So anyway, yeah. So that is the Snowdrop baby blanket. I look forward to seeing the next video. Take care and happy crocheting. Bye-bye.